and give me a very clear no, 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 no would be great, please.
Guys, squeeze together. You're going to have to dive in the sea, get in there, want to see. You've got absolute sea of no.
Who's at 4?
Right.
No!
There we go.
No! 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 No!
Video.
Everybody that's in attendance today, it's very, very important that we continue our fight against not just Highways England, but what the government's intentions are with regards to Thurrock and our friends south of the river as well. So thank you very much for your continued support. And I need to highlight a number of things. There is so much going on in the community that we should be very, very proud of. Individually and collectively, we're standing up and saying enough is enough, and that is something that we've got to be firstly very proud of, but also we have to have our staying power, we have to have persistence, and we have to, there you go, I'm getting some some friends from Tilbury as well. But I encourage you to reach out to your friends, your family, your neighbours, because this is not just a one-off. We'll continue to do this as we go through the rest of the consultation period, but also the months that follow and potentially the years that follow. This is going to be a very long fight, and we have to persevere, and it's going to get more difficult before it gets easier. I can rest assured that. But I believe that we can make a positive change here, and I believe that actually between us all here, there's a very well argued case that's already starting to form, and all we need to do is make sure that we have the vehicle to take it into government, and I genuinely believe that we have that. Okay. My last point, and I'm going to hand over to a few people here that have come along to say a few words to you guys, that we have to stick together. Regardless of what you may read in the press, regardless of what you may read from a variety of people in an official capacity, the key is that as a community we stay together, and as our councillors stay shoulder to shoulder with us also, it's important that we are united in our fight in saying no more crossings in Thurrock. What I'd like to do first of all is hand over to Ian Wake, who...
Director of Public Health. I work for the council. My job at the council is to provide independent clinical advice to people like Councillor Kent and to the other officers and to the NHS to protect and to ensure that you remain as healthy as possible. I've been asked to talk about some of the impacts, some of the facts around this crossing. I'm sure you're all aware of this document here, so I thought, I need to be fair, I'd start with they produced a very helpful fact sheet about the impact of air quality. I'll read you just one paragraph of it, because it's quite extraordinary. It says, air quality. For those who are living immediately next to the proposed route, there will be limited impact on air quality, but it is predicted to be well within EU limits. I say baloney. Let me just give you some figures in terms of the supposed EU limits. Air quality in Tilbury at the moment is so bad that the council has had to declare what's called an air quality management area to try and improve it. In 2012 and in 2013, it broke maximum EU legal limits for nitrogen dioxide. Why is this important? Well, we know that air quality or poor air quality from exhaust fumes, air pollution caused from car and HGV exhausts, specifically nitrogen dioxide and particulate matter, is terribly dangerous to our health. We know that it makes existing lung conditions worse, things like asthma and COPD. We know that it increases hospital admissions for those conditions, and we know that it kills people earlier. And we've got a problem with this in Thurrock. Our death rates in Thurrock due to air pollution are the worst in the entire region, the entirety of the east of England. 73 people die every year in Thurrock as a direct result of air pollution, and there are 821 years of life lost every year as a result of air pollution in Thurrock. And finally, we know that Tilbury, where this crossing is proposed to actually end up, has some of the highest levels of premature mortality, the highest death rates within our entire borough, from the very conditions that are impacted by poor air quality. It has the highest death rates for coronary heart disease, almost twice the national average. It has the highest prevalence of lung disease, asthma and COPD in Thurrock. And this is really shocking. I actually was crunching numbers this morning. If you have asthma or COPD in Tilbury, you are 25% more likely to end up at hospital in a year compared to if you have asthma and COPD and live elsewhere in the borough. So to sum up, we have an area in Tilbury that has illegal, terrible air quality. It's so illegal and so terrible that we have sky-high death rates from hospital admissions and from poor air quality. And no one, particularly not Transport England, will ever convince me that putting a 4-lane motorway through Tilbury will have a limited impact on air quality. This is not a consultation of facts, this is a misrepresentation of facts. Friends, as a consultation, this is useless. The only use I can think for this document, and I will do this when I get home, is as a lining for my cat litter tray. Because hopefully she will do to Highways England what we must never allow Highways England to do to us here in Thurrock. Thank you.
For standing shoulder to shoulder with us on this, and it's important as well to highlight that regardless of their political allegiance, everybody is standing shoulder to shoulder here, and that's coming from somebody that is politically neutral, contrary to popular belief. I just want everybody to maintain that they are going to stand shoulder to shoulder with their neighbours and friends and family, because it's only united and together that we're going to do this, and we're going to push this out of our borough. So on that note,
slightly sprung on me because I got caught in traffic, so as I walked up I found I was speaking. I suppose the key message from me is that I remain in principle opposed to all crossings, new crossings in Thurrock. We know we have a problem with the existing crossing. It causes absolute chaos. Every time, it strikes me, a sparrow coughs and something goes wrong there, and we all pay the price for that through traffic congestion and, as we've just heard, some extremely poor air quality. And what concerns me about the proposals that we are looking at the moment is that they will actually do nothing, in my opinion, to address that key issue of the problem with the existing crossing and the poor air quality. So what have we got to do? Well, we have to stand, as we've heard, stand united and stand shoulder to shoulder to fight these proposals, and that will be my role with you, to promote that there needs to be an alternative to what's currently proposed. But I can't guarantee that I can win that battle, and it would be stupid of me to stand here and promise you something that I can't do and that we can't guarantee to achieve. So, what I've said, and I've said it consistently, is we need a two-pronged approach. On one hand, we need to oppose what's being done to us at the moment. We need to do that based on facts, based on evidence, based on the fact that we don't think that it will tackle the problems, that it won't do anything to address air quality. But on the other side, we need to engage in the process and need to make sure that we put in our submissions, that we tell people why it is we don't think that those plans will work. Now, I've been working with George behind the scenes over the last few weeks, exchanging information, asking questions in Parliament, and I will be continuing to do that this week. I've got a meeting again with the Minister where I will be explaining to him the views As I said, main concern is that what's being proposed won't do anything to address the challenges. Highways England have said that option C will take away 14% of the traffic away from the existing crossing. That's, they say, 1 in 8, 1 in 7 cars. But that means that 86% of traffic will still be trying to get through the weakest part of the M25. And I think before anyone spends billions of pounds on a new piece of infrastructure, we need to sort out that problem and then look at what the issues are. Then decide whether or not there really is a problem. But until that's done, how can we possibly justify tearing up huge swathes of green space in our borough? Anyway, that's probably all I want to say. Is I will stand with you and I will make sure that your views get heard. But I am not promising that I can beat this, but I'm certainly not going to give false hope, but don't want to say there is no hope. Good luck to the future ahead, and thanks to everyone who's been organising this campaign.
4 things earlier that I want to pick up on, and the first you said is that people that are here, people that have been engaged in this campaign should be proud. I agree with that. George, you've got a lot to be proud of. As has everybody who's organised this event today, as everybody who's turned up here today, and I think you should all just give yourself a round of applause for coming out today. You don't see it when you're standing in the middle, but up here it looks pretty spectacular, so well done. George, the second thing you said is that we have to stay united, and I think that's right. One of the things that you should all be really proud of is that you've refused to allow the community of Thurrock to be split. We're against any option. We're against option A for the damage that will do in Purfleet and the west of the borough. We're against option B for the damage that will do in Grays in the centre of the borough, and we're against option C for the damage that would cause in the east of the borough. We're against the options that are currently being consulted on. Option C, be it variant 1, 2, 3 or 4. And we are not going to be deflected by Jackie Doyle-Price taking out adverts and encouraging us to support any of those options. The third thing you said, George, is that we've got to be in this for the long haul, and that's right. What we've got at the moment is what's known as a preliminary consultation. This is Highways England looking at the options to come up with one preferred option. At the moment they're telling us that's option 3. There are many of us who believe that that's nothing more than a smokescreen and that option 4 is in fact the preferred option all along. When the Secretary of State makes his decision, which will be sometime in this autumn, there will be another consultation on that preferred option, and we've got to be every bit as vocal, every bit as organised, every bit as passionate then as we have been up until now. And George, the fourth thing you said is that you believe that we can make a difference, and I believe that we can make a difference as well. So I agree with Stephen. I'm not going to stand here and promise that we can win. That would be wrong. That would be misleading. I was in a meeting on Friday of something called the South East Local Enterprise Partnership. That's a body that covers Essex, Sussex and Kent. A room full of council leaders and businesses. Highways England came to give a presentation to them, and you won't be surprised to know that for once the majority of people in that room were saying that they wanted this crossing. It's unusual to be in a room like this. So the view of Highways England was quite interesting. It was different to the view that we normally get. Businesses were saying, you know, why don't you just get on and do it? The case has been made, hasn't it? And Highways England's response were, no, we don't think the case has been made yet. We've got a lot more we need to do. To quote the guy called Mike Brown, he said, this is not a slam dunk. We don't think that the case has yet been made. And George, another thing you said was that at the end of the day, this is going to come down not to just the Department for Transport. This is going to come down to the Treasury. The Treasury have to sign off a cheque for £6 billion to build this crossing. We have to make that strong case that says this is not a good use of £6 billion. As Stephen says, the day this crossing opens, if it opens, it takes 14% of the traffic away from Dartford. Is that worth £6 billion? I don't think it is. It improves the journey times at Dartford by 3 minutes. Do you think that's worth £6 billion? It creates nationally something in the region of 5,000 jobs. That's over £1 million a job. Do we think that's good value for money? No, we don't. So I do think that there is a strong case to make. And I've just got to say this. Others might have thrown in the towel. I'm not going to throw in the towel. The council's not going to throw in the towel. George, I know you, and nobody else here is either.
to everybody that's turned up today. The one thing, and I said this at the Tilbury Cruise Terminal, that Highways England should be prepared for a fight. And I'm pretty sure, and I can only speak for myself when I say this, but I've got a lot of fight left in me. And it's important that we have staying power. Yeah, this is not just going to finish at the 24th of March when the consultation ends. To John's point, this is going to go on for months and for years. So please, please, please make sure you stay with us in this fight, because it's only going to be together we have the opportunity to make a personal, a proper impact on this consultation and this plan going forward. Okay, but thank you to everybody that's turned up today. Please go away, take some consultation documents back to your friends, your neighbours, your grandparents, whoever it is. We don't care. We need everybody's voice. We need everybody's support. Thank you for turning up today, and keep fighting.